Hello, my name's Claire and this is Jo and we're from the East Hertfordshire Family Centre Service.
Today we're going to talk to you about fine motor skills. Fine motor skills are the ability to use the small muscles in the fingers and wrists to perform precise, accurate movements. Most people this comes naturally to, but for children obviously, they need to have some practice and learn how to do this. You can use some very simple activities at home to encourage your child to use their fine motor skills. And today we are just going to show you some resources that you can use from home. There's no need to go out and buy expensive toys to encourage these activities. Just go around your house and get some things out that could help you to help your child. This is just simply a colander, and as you can see I've got a lace here. You can tie a knot at one end just to secure it to help your child, and then with the end of the lace try and encourage your child to hold the end and push it through the holes. It might be tricky for them at first and you may want to hold the colander. The action is really more of the pushing of the lace through the holes on the colander. If you haven't got a lace or you find that a little bit tricky, you could also just use some spaghetti and push that through the holes and you can take it through the other side. If you don't have a colander or your colander doesn't have little holes in, you could just get a plate or a piece of paper, punch some holes in it, again tie a lace the other end and just push the lace through the holes. Try and let your child do this on their own. If they can, it may take some time, but once they get the art of it, they can make some patterns with it and that will encourage the threading.
PlayDoh is a fantastic to use to build up hand strength in a child's hand. They need hand strength to help them write later in life. So you can either just usually play with your PlayDoh in the usual way, just squeezing and pinching and just rolling your PlayDoh, and that's fantastic. Or you can even use for hand and eye coordination, use your pasta to actually place into the PlayDoh just to make a little pattern. Can you see, look, I'm making a hedgehog out of my PlayDoh. Now you can buy PlayDoh from the shop, but it's very easy to make at home. And at the end of this video, there'll be two recipes, one for PlayDoh and one for Colander, which is very simple. You can make it at home and you can actually incorporate making it with your child.
Another toy that you could use at home to help with the fine motor skills are building blocks. Really simple. We've got some wooden ones here that we have bought with us to show you. Obviously, if you have any Lego or anything really that they like to build with, you could even get some tins out of your cupboard or find some small jewellery boxes that they could stack. Again, this is just using the fingers and the eye coordination to let the child build their own tower however they want to do it, or you could build one next to them, and then obviously you know your child is going to want to knock it down, which is fine because then they can start all over again and you can make it a really fun activity. See who can build the tallest tower.
An important part of fine motor skills for a child is obviously mark making. You should give them as many opportunities as possible to create their mark and obviously praise any marks they make. This can be done with a simple way, obviously pens and paper. And to start with, the child usually goes round and round in circles, but try and get them to be a rocket and go whoosh, whoosh, and get them to copy your marks. And obviously ask them, what's that? What have you made? And try and praise for any mark they've done. Or another simple way is using rice on a tray. Here we've just got like a little baking tray, and you can just use your finger to create a mark. It doesn't have to be a letter or anything in particular, it just needs to be a pattern or a paintbrush. If they actually don't like the texture on their hands, they can use a paintbrush to mark through the rice. For younger children, we can mark using things like their plastic cars at home, and you can either dip it in paint and make a mark, or here we're going to make a mark in the rice. Can you see we're making it mark in the rice? And it's just to make the play a bit more interesting for your child at the same time they're making their marks.
As well as your child having fine motor skills, they also will have gross motor skills. Gross motor skills are the large muscles and the whole body movement to help coordination of the arms, legs and other large body parts. Again, there's lots of activities that you can do to encourage this, and They don't even need to be in the house. They can be when you're outside, walking to school, going to the shops, just going to the park. One of the very first ones that comes to mind for me is climbing the stairs. Obviously, that's encouraging your children to use their legs going up the stairs. That will help them just get the use of their legs.
At some point, you'll find that your child likes to throw things, and obviously that can cause a little bit of damage in your house. The way to obviously change it up a little bit is actually giving something they can throw. So here I've just got a pair of simple socks that I've rolled into a ball, and this is fantastic. You can throw it, you can catch it, and you can roll it to each other. But it's just like a safer way of doing it. So instead of saying no to your child and you can't throw, say, oh, where's your socks? Go and get your socks and we'll play together. So you're just giving them an alternative and a distraction.
So another gross motor skill, to encourage a gross motor skill, would be jumping. I know a lot of the children these days go to the jumping outlets where they can go on the trampolines, which is fine, but sometimes you don't want to go there, you don't want to have to pay the money for that. So just simple jumping from the floor, encourage them to jumping up high, or when they're out in the park and they're going along on the balancing beams, then they could jump off of the balancing beams, just as you can see in this picture, jumping up, using their legs, bringing it, throwing their arms up in the air at the same time, and seeing if they can jump and land on 2 feet and then maybe stop. Again, this is all control, movement, and encouraging the muscles in the body to work together.
There's some fantastic songs out there in nursery rhymes that you can get your child up and moving and dancing to. A fantastic one that's good for an early child to learn is If You're Happy and You Know It. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. You can stamp your feet and you can swing your arms and then you can dance around. But again, it's fun, it's enjoyable. You're singing along with your child, but also you're getting them moving.
One of my favourites is the Grand Old Duke of York, because he had 10,000 men, so you can all get involved. He marched them up to the top of the hill and he marched them down again. And when they were up, they were up. When they were down, they were down. When they were only halfway up, they were neither up nor down. That's a great one. The kids love that one too. We hope that this has helped you, just to give you some ideas for the fine motor skills and the gross motor skills, and try and use some of these activities at home, because without realising it is really important for your child if they want to go on and do sports or just with anything in life. It's good to have the balance, the coordination, and by putting the two lots of motor skills together, that will help.